Hey there, guys. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you. It's currently the 19th of February 2019 out here in the Western Pacific, and I'm just going to be breaking down our tropical system here. Now, I shouldn't say tropical system. It is still deemed an invest area 92W from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, but also there is a clear center of circulation here. You can see it on our satellite imagery, just continuing the wrap up around Kwajalein. In fact, we could take a look at the observations out there at Kwajalein. Current wind speeds are about 26 knots, but I saw a report not too long ago right around 30 knot gusts. Now, you need sustained at 34 for it to be a tropical storm, plus a few other factors, including convection, which we're not seeing a lot of. It's very disorganized out here. The big thing with this area is that model guidance has been aggressive on it. Now, I'm going to get to the models in a second because I know that's what a lot of people really want to see here. But I'm going to just break down some of my thoughts. And the big thing right now is that we have the northeast monsoon going on and the Westpac high, which is sitting over Guam. Now, typically, this would keep this type of area towards the south running towards the west. But there is just a bit of pulling in with an upper level trough just towards the north here, and we can see that even on the satellite imagery. The overall background flow does show some of those low level clouds kind of pulling out this way, but then you have this trough digging in right in there, and it depends if that trough picks it up. I don't think it will by the time this thing organizes. It's saying south of 10 degrees north. That means it's probably going to try to fight on this westerly track as we look ahead and possibly as it develops over the coming days. Overall background flow would really be conducive for that. This is mid-level 850 millibars to about 500 millibars. And what this simply means, the tropical systems, they want to follow basically areas of lowest pressure. Think of tropical systems like water. They flow downhill. And that's what this overall flow is showing you as of now. Now, you have to remember, though, this is going to be changing over the coming week, and I think what's going to happen is this area of high pressure is going to kind of drift towards the east, which would allow this to kind of recurve a little bit towards the north, but then it's eventually going to be fighting off the northeast monsoon. So there's a lot of factors in place out here, my friends. So let's get into some of the models, because I know that's what everybody really is curious about. And one thing I can tell you, what's interesting is the GFS has been rather persistent. Persistent's a good word for it. On the development of this. These are the last 3 model runs right in there, just towards our southeast here, south of Guam, you should say, as we go ahead into next Saturday. So that's still 7 days out, a long time out. But it's just been consistent on the development of this system. The ECMWF also has been saying, yeah, I think something will happen, albeit it keeps it much weaker. Same with the JMA, and that's also the Navy model, the NavGem. So I'm looking at 4 different model guidances here in the long range. All have something developing, but the big thing is that they all consist with this developing, pulling off towards the northwest, and eventually kind of trying to make a jog out there around Guam, east or west of the island. But I think my personal thoughts is that this could eventually kind of pull out here towards the Philippine Sea west of Guam based on that overall background flow, and then just kind of linger here because the northeast monsoon continues to dominate, and that would be interesting. I think it would eventually just weaken out. So for the Philippines, I don't see a system impacting you directly, but it could enhance the monsoon. And for Guam, I think you should sit tight and continue to monitor this area out here. It's still in its development phase, but you know what? If this does actually become even a tropical storm, it would be a little bit out of season for Guam and the islands out there, the Mariana Islands. Bring plenty of rainfall, but the northeast monsoon's a big factor into play here, which would typically kill it off. So yeah, that's just my quick thoughts. 4.5-minute update. I hope you guys do appreciate these quick video updates. Yeah, I still like talking about the weather out in the Western Pacific. So anybody watching from Western New York, here in Rochester where I work now, thanks for just sticking through it. It's a little bit interesting, a little bit out of your realm, and this is my area of expertise, believe it or not, is the Western Pacific and tracking typhoons. I've tracked more than I can count and been in numerous ones as well. So Yeah, I always just try to share my thoughts out there. But right now, Kwajalein is getting rain showers and some gusty winds. So we'll see how this low develops. All right, guys. I will try to put another video out in the near future. Bye.